Yeah, a very good afternoon. Hi,
Hello.
this is Vincent Evers from Diamond Picks, and today we have a session again with the latest news, with, of course, things we find very interesting about new projects, and I have a fantastic guest, and that is Sjuul from AltCryptoGems. Hi, Sjuul, how are you doing?
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm fine actually. Thank you.
Yeah.
How about you?
And this is the first time. I mean, we've met each other during the World Championship of football and soccer, actually, to say it the right way. And we met in the arena from Ajax, and we had a nice conversation. I said, "Hey, let's come on the show and let's discuss, because you have so many interesting things. I mean, you have I really enjoy your crypto, your alt crypto." Site, your
my Twitter page.
Yeah, your crypto and also that you basically research everything there, and that you basically put on things there, and then you started to interact. I thought that story was really really interesting. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about the news. How do you think? How do you think? I mean, first, how have you survived this crypto winter year? Because it's deep freezing. You know, it's freezing from Ukraine. The energy prices are high. I mean, the crypto, of course, went down 80%. How you had a fantastic year, of course, last year. How did you like the freezing temperature, and how do you look at the market?
Well, to be honest, this isn't my first bear market, so I learned from the previous one. And how I survived was by, like you said, I had a great year last year. And by sort of getting things into stable coins and doing smart things with your money. If you do it well, then you can definitely survive the bear market. And right now I'm actually expanding and building and developing a lot of different channels or platforms, my website, newsletter, all those kind of things. Because I believe that you have to build in the bear market to sort of reap the rewards in the bull run. And that's what I'm basically doing. I mean, if I'm honest, I think I enjoy the market more in a bull market because, like you said, so many projects are launching. Everything is going up. Everyone's happy. Everyone's making money. We're all glad we're in crypto. So I enjoy it more. But I do think it's important to have a bear market to sort of filter out all the how do you say it, the crap, to be honest. We need it, and right now we're in such a market. But yeah, it's time to build right now. The ones that are surviving now are the ones that are going to reap the rewards in the bull run.
I saw that in 2017. Every important thing. I mean, 2017, Binance was started, and Bitvavo in the Netherlands was started. Everybody really starts after a deep depression. All kinds of new projects start who are efficient, who are new, who do things well. So yeah, it is. I mean, I studied economics, and we had Schumpeter, and it's about creative destruction. You know, during a crisis, you have creative destruction, and all kinds of new things come up. And it's not that in the fiat market we didn't have any destruction, right? I mean, it's just like it was a horrible time. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how the market is doing. This is about today. I always love these bubble things. And I mean, the last week is 5% down. The last month is 6% up, and the year, oh my God!
Oh, don't look at the year.
yeah. Well, it's just good to see that. Maybe you can. I mean, I always like to see that. And secondly, what was also interesting about the exchanges, they went down 26%. But if you look at the exchanges down from a month from now, they went down a total of 66%. So volume is also very much down. Could you give me your take on the market, where we are, and of course, I mean, are we in the bubble, or are we at the lowest point or not?
Well, like you said, the market obviously is down. 66% in 1 year is enormous. And the thing that's sort of hurting this the most right now is all the FUD that's happening. So, the FTX story, all those kind of exchanges that are sort of dropping right now. It's bad for crypto in general, because let's say you just started out with crypto, you have some money, you deposit it on a big website like FTX. You're happy, you're trading, and all of a sudden the website is gone. Before you're going to invest in crypto again, we're probably years ahead. So in general, I think it's bad for crypto, but on the other side, we do need these things in order to, like I said, just with the bear market and bull market, we need these things to happen to sort of filter out all the bad ones. And right now, if you ask me, I don't think we're in the bottom. We don't have a bottom yet. I think we're going to go down even more. But if you Bitcoin and all the crypto, sort of the top 10, top 20, top 30 coins, they're all long-term investments anyway. So if you want to make quick money within a week, then crypto is probably not for you. So I do it for the long term. And I believe we're gonna see a bull run again. It's just a matter of when. And it can
but I mean, are we going to get a bull? Let me give you the difficult question, and maybe you can show us the graph of the last year.
I can do that. And I can show you my. Let me just open a chart right now to show you my current targets and my current. Let me see if I can.
So if you say we're not at the bottom, why do you say that? What is your take on that? I mean, is it because you think that we still have things like FTX coming up, or we have more strict legislation going up, or the economy is going down? I mean, what is your analysis?
If you ask me, it's sort of a combination of everything you just said. The economy is still uncertain. People aren't really investing any money. Just like you said, if you look at the volume right now that's happening in crypto, it's way too low. And one of the reasons for that is probably because there are just not many people trading anymore, and new people aren't coming in. So if you ask me, we're sort of surviving right now, and I do think we're going to see lower points at which people are starting to find it interesting again to buy Bitcoin again, or to get into crypto again. And once we start to see that happening, I think it's sort of a snowball. Once that's live, we're going to go up again, and we're going to see volume coming in. People are going to talk about it again. Right now, we're just in a period where everything is sort of silent, and crypto is in a bad way right now. So I think it's just a matter of time before we go down even more, and then we're going to go back up again.
So what do you think? Is Q1 is that the bottom, or is Q2, or do you see the whole of 2023?
If you ask me, and this is just, of course, a rough estimate. I mean, no one can predict this, and neither can I. But I think we're going to go down in Q1, as in, I can show you my targets in a bit, but maybe even below 15K, and maybe even 14 to 12K. I think that's going to happen in Q1, and then probably Q3, Q4 of next year. I think we're going to go sort of find an upwards momentum, and we might possibly go back up. And then it's just, you're in crypto as well. It can literally change within a week, from everyone being sad and everyone being down to the next week, everyone's happy and we're all going up, and it's all green. So of course, it's hard to say the timing, but I think, like I said, soon-ish, Q1, maybe we're going to go down. And then at the end of next year, I think we're going to sort of slowly go back up again. Okay. And if you look at the chart right now, let me just take a higher time frame of, for example, a day. I mean, this is, of course, the chart. And yeah,
I love that double top. It's always great to see that double top.
This was insane. And are you able to see my green lines on the screen? Because I can't see the green lines, actually. Are you able to see them? Or do you not see any green lines?
Yeah, I see them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Crosshair. You mean the crosshair, yeah.
Well, like, this was the first bull run, of course, in 2017, where everyone was happy and we all went euphoric and everything was great. Then, of course, we saw us dropping down, and then a small bounce, and then back down again. And then this happened. And if you ask me, then if we wanted to stay bullish, then we had to bounce on the previous all-time high, which was this one at 2017, 2018, around the 19.4K mark, which, if you look, we did over here. We bounced, and we bounced over here as well, because this is the exact line of, sort of, but where we had the previous all-time high, and we bounced. So at that point, I thought, oh, this is nice. We're actually going to go back up, which we did. But then we hit a resistance again at around 25K, and we dropped down
also
again.
got a little FTX kind of little blow up.
Exactly.
Right?
Something happened.
It's like, I mean, something really happened. I mean, this whole thing is all about psychology and when people want to get in and out. And maybe if FTX didn't happen, I mean, we're still. I mean, I still think we're in Luna country. I mean, the Luna, the results from Luna, actually, that was a 50 billion euro, just like collapse, and that caused a huge amount of problems, and all kinds of other companies, like Celsius lost Celsius and then FTX, and actually FTX. Maybe FTX was very weak and was very very badly managed. But the reason they went down was because of the Luna disaster, and maybe otherwise it would have been a year later, they would have gone down.
Yeah, but it's hard to say, of course. But I think as well that if we didn't have these type of events, then maybe we would have seen this. But right now we didn't. But like I said, we were bouncing on the previous all-time high, so I thought we're still fine. And then for the third time, we tried it, and then we fell through. So right now we're even below the all-time high. So if you ask me, like I said, if we're going to go down, and we're probably going to go towards maybe even this point, or maybe even lower, if you ask me, somewhere in between, what is this, 12K and 13K, I think. I think we're going to try to get a bounce real soon, and then eventually we're going to go something like this, and then eventually go back up again. That's my take on the market right now.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that wonderful positive view. I mean, Sjuul is always Mr. Optimistic. I'm always much more optimistic, but I'm also a lot of times I'm wrong. And for me, it's also interesting what's happening with the general economy. Are we going to in a it seems like we're going to have a very slow recession, just like a very light recession. And then, of course, very important what happens with Ukraine, if there's some kind of ceasefire, and then the inflation will go down. And that I think those companies, and that there's no other the Genisis doesn't go bankrupt or something like that, or the digital currency group or some other company which is doing a lot of things behind the scenes and suddenly blows up, and then everybody gets really upset about. So it's really but
one thing that's important to say is that even in a bad market, you can still make money, and that's a big misconception. People are saying, whenever I see someone in real life and they're like, "Hey, you're in crypto, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Oh, then it must be really bad for you right now. And like I said, I enjoy the market more when it's all green and when everyone's happy. But it doesn't mean I sit back and do nothing all day right now. I mean, you can still trade, you can still make money. It's just a little bit harder. And if you're able to survive right now, then you can definitely survive in the next bull run.
Well, in a couple of minutes, we're going to talk about that. What kind of instruments do you have to make money in these days? Let's first talk a little bit about your AltCryptoGem, and talk to me about where did this Twitter? Maybe you can share your screen and basically show some slides, because I thought it was really just somebody who was trading and sharing a huge amount of this project and things you research and you share that, and then slowly it became more of a platform. So that's how I read it. I mean, can you tell me a little bit about how you got into, when you got the crypto bug, and when you decided to spend your job on it?
I started with crypto in 2016, I believe. But then I just bought a couple Bitcoin, and then that's it. I didn't really do anything with it. 2017, we had a good run, and then 2017, 18, we lost it again. And I think I had a small amount of Bitcoin left, but I didn't do anything with it. And then starting at the end of 2020 and beginning 2021, a friend of mine said, "Hey, have you heard about the DeFi story?" And I said, "DeFi? What's DeFi?" I had no idea. So he sent me a couple coins, and I just invested a bit of my money in it. And then those started to run, and I made a good amount of money, and I started to trade again. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And at that time, Binance sort of became big, the Binance Smart Chain, which made it sort of possible for everyone to start trading. You had Uniswap, you had the Ethereum fees where people were paying $100 for one transaction. And then the Binance Smart Chain came, where people were paying 50 cents or maybe even less for a transaction. So it became sort of big, and I found out as well, and I enjoyed trading on the Binance Smart Chain. So I found coins that I liked, that I bought, that I sold, and I made a good amount of money with it. At that time, I thought I want to keep a record or some kind of bookkeeping for myself to see whether I made a profit or not. And I started out with Google Spreadsheet, but then I was logged in with a different account, so it didn't really work. So I thought I need something where I can see my trades on all my different devices. So I thought, why not just post it on Twitter? I had no idea that I was able to make a living out of it or make a business out of it. I just posted everything I bought and sold on Twitter. And then within a couple of weeks, I started to get a couple thousand followers, and I thought, whoa, okay. Apparently people like what I'm doing and they want to see this. So I kept on doing it, and then eventually I gained more followers, and it became 30,000, 40,000, and then companies like Binance or like Bybit or any other exchange started to contact me and say, hey, can we work together? And from that moment on, I thought, wow, I could actually make a business out of it. And I just kept on doing it, and that's basically where we are right now. 1.5 years later, or a little over 1.5 years later, and we were near 300,000 followers, but then Elon Musk sort of changed the rules on Twitter and banned a lot of old accounts. So everyone's lost quite a bit of followers, and including me. Now we're at 250K. But yeah, that's basically what I did and how it grew.
It really was a notebook for your trades.
Yeah, that's basically what I used it for.
It looks practical to me. I mean, you have you share everything going up, going down. You have a newsletter where you basically talk in very practical terms.
Yeah,
so that's really. And what I also see that people love to talk about. They love to converse with you, right? I mean, if you say you have a high amount of people who basically react.
Yeah.
So I think that is.
It even got to a point where I have a dog, and I started walking every day, and I made a picture whenever I was walking, and I just shared the picture. And then eventually people started to ask me, what's the name of the dog? So I posted somewhere the name. And now whenever I'm walking and I'm making a picture, all the comments are like, where's your dog? And then the name of the dog, or, it's sort of becoming community and a family, basically. Yeah, that's what people like. And I like it as well. As you can see people are still sort of reacting. And the thing that I think the people that are still reacting right now are the ones, like I said, that are the really the crypto lovers. Because if you're still alive right now in crypto world at this time, then you need to be like a big fan.
So there's always a core group. You see the
exactly.
volume is down. There's a core group who is really interested and who really is into innovation, new projects, and that kind of stuff. And that is, so that is something. So I thought it was really nice to see how alive and kicking it is. So tell me, I mean, if you are, if Twitter is so important to you, how do you feel about the new owner of Twitter, Elon Musk? What do you think of his improvements and his changes?
I think that Elon is can be a strange person, but I do think the things he sort of fired 50% of the people that were working for Twitter, which I think the way he did it could have been done in a better way, and it may have hurt quite a bit of people. But on the other hand, I do think he's sort of the person that was able to do this the fastest way possible. If you have any other company and you need to do a reorganization or you need to fire people, it's going to take half a year to a year. And he basically said, you either leave now and you go, or you want to work for Twitter, but then you gotta work hard. And I think the way he did it did sort of change the entire company. And if you would have let another CEO do it, it might have taken a couple of years. So I think that's something that Elon is quite good at. But the other, he does some things that you can say, are they really handy? Are they really nice? I'm not sure if you read the news that came out last Sunday, I think, where they said you're not allowed to promote any other social media platform anymore, and they didn't want Linktree links anymore and stuff like that. those type of decisions are sort of questionable.
Yeah.
And
It was taken back very quickly.
exactly.
Basically, it was
Yeah.
very. So I mean, I have to say, I mean, first, I mean, you can see my
Yeah.
T-shirt. So I am a Tesla lover. I mean, I'm totally
So
into
am I.
electric
So am
cars.
I.
Yeah. So we can find each other in that department. And Elon has been very instrumental in that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and of course, going to Mars, he's been innovative too. I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty crazy what he's doing now, stuff. But interesting thing is also, he fired half of the people. What is now the biggest craze? What is everybody now doing, including Facebook and Meta and all
Yeah.
these other things? They're all firing 50%
Yeah.
of the people. It's sort of the new
Yeah.
mantra saying we have too many people, we were too blooded, we need to be we now need the money becomes more expensive, there's
Yeah.
not billions of dollars around, you need to basically live within your means and be productive. And
Yeah.
so that is he's definitely put a new trend in. What's also interesting is that there's my favorite podcast is this one, and that is the All In podcast. And the
Yeah.
All In podcast is a bunch of people. Is Jason, and he's a total crazy innovative guy.
Yeah.
This guy, he's part of the Swartz, Jonathan Swartz.
Yeah.
He's more a right wing Republican,
Yeah.
but he's extremely smart, and he's part of the PayPal mafia.
Yeah.
So and he's working with Elon to help reorganize Twitter. And actually, all these guys, there's 4 guys of them are. So they have the idea of, hey, we're going to put a payment system into Twitter, and it's probably going to be Lightning. That's probably because it has to be a very cheap way system, and they want to put it in, and he's been hunting on that. And so, and this guy, I mean, he's my favorite. He's my favorite guy. He is he's one of the first investor in Facebook and in Uber, and he's got 1.4 billion. But it doesn't matter. He is more liberal. He's super smart. He's an immigrant. He's extremely hardworking, and he's very precise. Both of them are extremely smart. So I love these guys and these guys. And then there's another bunch of people who are in there, and they have this great every Friday they have this great podcast. And for example, they did the whole doxing debate, because I mean, people, all kind of journalists were fired because of people were thrown off Twitter because they were doxing people, basically giving them the live thing. And they had all debate what he was doing, if he was lost his mind. And of course, he needs to become more reasonable. But it is fascinating to watch. I mean, he's also saying, oh, the 248 character limits will be gone. It will be 15,000 characters. And he does a lot of things. And everybody who now works at Twitter are engineers from the main people are engineers from Tesla and SpaceX. So he got 100 people from SpaceX, 100 people from Twitter, and he's reorganizing the whole company. Nobody could do anything like that. And then he's saying, there's going to be a committee, and I'm never going to put any kind of decisions anymore before asking everybody what 15 million people will do, including saying, hey, should I be CEO or not?
Yeah,
and
you did a poll.
No, don't be CEO. 60% said no. Now he says, okay, well, I'll find somebody else. I don't know who wants the job, but we'll see how that goes. So anyway, that is Twitter. It is your. I love Twitter. You like Twitter. You have a community on Twitter. People talk to you. I would recommend everybody to become member of it. What is this week? What news have you been sharing, Sjuul?
Pretty much anything that happened. Sam is in jail right now, or behind in custody. What have I been sharing? What have I not been sharing? To be honest,
well,
let me
Caroline.
see.
I mean, I thought Caroline was really interesting. She basically.
She got bail.
She made a deal, and she's out of. I think she is out of the.
250K, right?
Yeah, she just has to say, hey, surrender of travel documents. She's American, but maybe gave up her citizenship, and she has 250,000 bail, which I think she will, is nothing for her, because she used to spend billions. And if you see that girl, you go like, wow. I mean, that
Yeah.
was the one who basically, managed €5 billion, and
Yeah.
it's like
Is she had a
very interesting.
relationship with Sam?
Yeah, that was allegedly that was over,
Yeah.
but
No, yeah. Those
we'll
were the
see. We'll
rumors.
see how that
Yeah.
was. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. I thought
Yeah.
this was also interesting. The CoinDesk does it in most influential people,
Hmm.
and who and of course on there are the four horsemen of the crypto collapse. So like Terra, of course, Terra, 3 Hours Capital, Celsius,
Yeah.
Alex, which I
That's
interviewed
right.
in. I had a video of him. I interviewed him about all his different companies he started
Oh.
last year when I was in New York, and then Voyager Digital, and then of course Sam came out of that. So those are the
Yeah.
top five. But who do you think is the most who's the most influential person which they put on number one?
And this is only about crypto.
Yeah,
Yeah. Then it has to be CZ.
yeah, it is CZ.
Yeah.
It is CZ, vanishing 40 billion
Yeah.
rival
40
with a
billion
single
rival.
tweet. Yeah. It's really interesting. I interviewed him for an hour in for I was in Brussels and I was interviewing. I could ask
Yeah.
any kind of question I wanted. It was really
Yeah.
interesting how that.
I was there as well.
Oh, you were there also in
I was in the
Brussels.
crowd.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that was. I mean, it was interesting how I could ask any kind of question. He was going, "Oh yeah, well, Luna, we had 1.6 billion. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
too bad. It just happens, and it's just like, but that's
So,
just the way it goes. And he just saved so much. He basically makes so much profit. I
yeah.
mean, these exchanges, they must be wildly profitable that they can basically just share these kinds of
Yeah.
that they have these
Absolutely.
kinds of collapse.
Yeah. There he is.
Yeah, so it's really interesting how let me see.
I don't forgot the wording, but some vague wording. But you interpret that they don't want crypto exchanges in China. They don't want people to do ICOs in China. Next week,
Oh yeah, his story about BNB, how he started
very easy
BNB.
to move. So
Yeah.
we just moved.
Yeah, but we had this is a very nice. This is very nice. If people want to listen to this conversation, that is, I will share it. I'll share it, and that's a nice. I mean, and I think that what really shows he first became a software developer, then he became a trader, then he became an exchange software developer, which made software for 50 different exchanges, and then 2017, when all his clients collapsed, he says, might as well do it myself,
Yeah.
and
Why
then
not? Yeah.
and he does that, and I think that was really that was a good interesting story about his life, and also why he's so good and why he's so decentralized and why he was able to get out of China without too much problem. So I find it was a nice conversation with him. He was nice. He's very pleasant to talk to.
Yeah.
Do you think he survived the FUD last week?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, it's hard to say because usually the real problems come out later. But I think once you're the biggest, which Binance obviously is, everyone wants to have you down. And I think that's what's happening. You're the biggest, so everyone's trying to get him down. So the FUD is coming. But if you ask me, he responded quite well.
Yeah. Nobody, I mean, there were people screaming fire in the theater, but nobody really, nothing happens with BNB, but very little. So
I'm not sure if you've seen the news that said something like Binance is going down because I think $6.5 billion was withdrawn on one day, something like that. Some news article came out, and then everyone's saying, "Oh, Binance is going down," and this. And then at the end of the day, we saw another tweet saying, "Yeah, $6.5 billion was withdrawn, but $6 billion was deposited." So at the end of the day, it was $500 million that was withdrawn, while they have 70 billion plus over in reserves. So what's the deal? I mean,
What is this? What kind of face is this? Do you know?
His profile picture.
Yeah, what happened?
Oh, do you not know? It's called Lenza.
No, I don't know. So that's why I'm asking you the questions.
it's the same as my profile picture on Twitter. If you're able to, it's an app, and you're able to upload selfies of yourself. I think you have to select 10 or 15 or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, I've done that too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then with AI, it's creating a new image of yourself, and that's what he used for this one. And it's an old picture of himself.
No kidding.
It's called
Oh,
Lensa.
I mean, let me see. Can you share that screen for a second? Because I mean, I have used that AI. I've used that
I've
AI
got the same.
platform, but that will be really fun. My God, he looks really like an old philosopher.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Yeah, my profile picture is created with Lensa as well, mainly because I wasn't sort of undoxed and not known. Here, see this one? It's created with Lensa as well. I just upload a picture of myself, and then it creates an AI version of it. And this sort of shows who I am, but not precisely yet. So that's the reason why I uploaded it, and people seem to like it. So yeah, why not?
And how do you spell Lensa?
It's called this one.
Lensa AI. So it's
this one with this logo. I think you have to pay like you upload 10 pictures, and then it creates 50 images of yourself. And I think you have to pay €6 or €7 for the 50 images. Something like that.
I can recommend. I have another AI platform which it's really fun. You put 50 pictures of yourself, and then you say Vincent Everts in the mountains, and then you see me in the mountains, and then Vincent Everts on a horse, and then Vincent Everts together with Obama. You know, just like it's really fun. It's really great to do those kinds of things. I mean, and of course, I mean, I now use this chat engine of OpenAI to make a description of the videos, you know, saying, oh, well, make a description of the video in 200 words where we discuss the crypto news of this week, and where we have, as a guest, we have this and this. And they write a beautiful piece of text with it. So I think it's really, it's
I've actually posted tweets made with OpenAI with the chat GPT. It's insane.
It's really useful. I don't think it's insane. It's useful. It becomes really good. And I've done chatbots for the last 25 years. I've done dictionary that you can talk to the computer and it talks back. It's all been shitty, but this has been a horrible year for crypto, but it has been a great year for AI. And of course, OpenAI, there's Elon Musk behind us too. So we'll see how Elon will survive.
AI coins have been pumping lately. AI coins. So AI, I'm not sure which. FET was one. All the crypto coins have been pumping, the AI ones. Everything's going down except for the 30 days, 70% up in the last 30 days.
Which one? All the AI or only this AI?
Nearly all AI tokens. These are all AI tokens. For example, Ocean Protocol was also a big one. Ocean.
And what did you say? All the AI tokens went up.
Yeah. Because of the AI images and the chatbot that's happening. These have all gone up while the market has gone down significantly. If you were in AI tokens lately, then you might have made some profit.
Okay, let me ask you some other thing, which I think is, what do you think of Bitvavo? Bitvavo, I mean, we still have all these fallouts of FTX, and FTX is the digital currency group. They were doing staking with Genisis, and they lost access to $280 million. And the management of Bitvavo says, we've made enough money last year. We have the money lying around, and we're going to reimburse everybody, or we're going to basically give everybody access to their own money. And what was your take on that?
Well, once again, it's hard to say how much money an exchange has, but I do believe, and that's what you said as well, all the exchanges have made insane amounts of money. And the question is, what have they done with the money? If you're, for example, Bitvavo, you make a lot of money and you throw away the money or you spend it on whatever, then it's gone, obviously. But if you do it well, I would definitely believe they made more than $300 million profit last year. So I think it's doable that they have the money lying around, and especially Bitvavo. Bitvavo is obviously the biggest Dutch crypto company, and I know they got a contact with the news website that released this news, and they wanted to respond to it, but before they had the time, it was already leaked or published.
Yeah.
So once again, it's just FUD, like the Binance FUD. I mean, something's happening. People jump on it because it's easy to talk about, and they think it will get them some engagement. But if you ask me, Bitvavo is a big company. It's only $200 million or 290, I think, which I don't think is that much for such a company.
What I thought was amazing, Financial Times of the Netherlands is a very, normally they're very critical if something goes wrong, and but this one, they got a beautiful article in the Financial Times saying, that the owner, one of the three founders, Mark Nibelstein, he's a law guy. He's been very, very good in going to the Dutch Central Bank and making a non-profit and saying we're doing one-to-one, and he's been doing that forever. So for some kind of reason, everybody seems to believe him that his integrity is still intact, and of course they reacted very quickly. So I think we are going through the biggest stress test ever. I mean, that's one of the innovative things which happens with a winter. All the ones which are managed badly, which are throwing away money, which are buying left and right things, which don't producing anything, they disappear. That's creative destruction. But other companies like Binance, like Bitvavo, they are being tested, but they're still around. With Bitvavo, you can go to their financials. They are basically being audited, so you can go in there and you can see that they have all the money lying around and they have the proof of reserves. Binance, you have some idea. They're starting to open up. It's still black boxes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. That was the news. Let me ask you something. You said you can make money during the bad days. I mean, and in Binance, I cannot. There's only limited things we can do as Dutch people when we trade on Binance. Or when we do on Bitvavo, you can just basically go in and out. How do you? What is your favorite exchange where you work with, and what can you do there?
Depends what you want to do. If you want to do everything and want to have it all, then Binance is obviously the biggest one. But apart from that, whenever you trade, and I sometimes trade with leverage, then Bybit is the one to go. And especially if you want to do, which you're obviously more aware of, bot trading, which usually happens with leverage, then Bybit is the one to go right now. They've got high liquidity. They've been growing insanely fast for the last year. They're actually adding all kinds of things like staking, earning, you name it. And I think their UI is very clear and very easy to understand for people that are new to crypto.
Maybe you can give us a little demo. If you look at here, if you look at the amount of volumes going down, but this is Binance. It's like 22 billion. Maybe you can put on your share the screen bit by bit, and then we have OKX is number 2. That's only 3 times. Before Binance was 10 times bigger, so it's really they've done very well. And then we have Coinbase, of course, and we have Bitmart, and then we have, on the other hand, we have Bybit. Oh, here's Bybit. Yeah, and they are not verified in this picture. But Bybit, let's take a look at Bybit, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about that company. They're in British Virgin Islands. Launched in 2018. So they do 3 billion in volume. That's about 7 times less than Binance at the moment. And then what can you tell me about it?
Basically, let me see what does CoinGecko say about the exchange right now. They're saying 24-hour volume. They give it a trust score as 10 as well. What can I say about it?
Can you zoom in a little bit more? Because this is not for the normal people. Yeah, much better.
There we go.
So I'm always very interested also what kind of tools you use, right? I mean, so some websites you use.
This is CoinGecko. And basically what this shows is what I think is important is the monthly visits. Because if you look at this right now, Binance says it has 80 million monthly visits. then Coinbase 37, and then OKX, which is ranked third on volume, like you shown as well, which has 7 million visits. But if you, for example, look at Bybit, which is number 7 in volume, but they have 16.6 million visits. So in comparison, they're sort of, if you ask me, it will be Binance the biggest, then Coinbase, and then after that we go to Bybit. If you look at the visits, now volume of course says more than visits, because the volume is what it's all about. But right now, Bybit, if you take all these exchanges, Bybit is the one that looks the best. If you ask me, the UI is just really good, and it's really easy to trade on Bybit, and especially with leverage. For example, in the Netherlands, we're not allowed to trade on Binance with leverage futures. So then Bybit is the next one. KuCoin is good as well. So if you ask me, it would be between KuCoin and Bybit. But I've just seen an enormous amount of growth on Bybit, and I was with them quite early because I liked what I saw.
Because they're very sophisticated. You can do a lot of leverage and trading, and
they do things well. They listen to the people whenever.
You gave me a little demo. Maybe you can give us a couple of screens on what you find interesting. So this is the. I would love it if you log in, if you zoom in a little bit higher, because I mean you're sharing a huge screen, of course.
Oh yeah.
It's a little hard for the average person. Much better. Thank you. Okay.
This is actually the trading page of Bybit's future trading or derivatives trading, so leverage trading. Right now, of course, it's zoomed in, so it's kind of hard to see. But the exchange itself, or the trading itself, the chart is on the left. Then you have the order book, and then you're able to make orders. I think it's just so clear right now. For example, say you want to trade leverage, but you want to change your leverage. There's an easy button here that says you want to go 70 leverage up, 70 leverage short. You can change it to whatever you want. Let's say you want 10x. You confirm it, and then you're able to say I want a limit order or a market order, whichever you prefer. You say, let's say market order, you want to go in with 100% of your assets, and you click long or short. If you ask me, you can't make this any easier. So let's say you're a new guy and you just want to start trading crypto. You want to buy some, you want to open a long, you want to open a short, and you don't really know how this works. If you then have an exchange that's unclear to use, you're not going to have a good time. And Bybit is just so clear in their UI, and it just works.
So this is, I mean, you can have a leverage of 10, 20, 30. You showed me it. So
100x is the maximum.
So it's
100x
really
is the maximum.
Amazing. Okay, so you can lose your money so quickly here in this, or you can make a lot of money. So
you can make
make a lot of money. What is your average? What do you do? What kind of leverage is your play?
I'd say if you want to start trading, don't use that high leverage, because leverage can get you said.
What is your?
I think on average probably 10x. 10x, and sometimes when I feel like it, I just YOLO, and then I deposit $500, and then you either win $500 or you lose it within a minute. This sort of gambling. So I wouldn't advise that, but usually like 10x, 15x, and not more than that.
Hey, and Bybit, is it? Can it do? Can you go to the bank and can you get money in and out easily with the Netherlands? Can you use?
They don't have Ideal yet. Because Ideal is I think it's only Bitvavo and some other Dutch exchanges. But once Mika is happening, then obviously they're going to have it probably as well. So right now you have to sort of deposit crypto. So basically you would have to start with Bitvavo, for example, buy some Bitcoin there or whatever, and then transfer it over to Bybit.
Okay. So they don't have a license yet with the Dutch central bank.
No.
Do they have a license with anybody in Europe?
I'm not sure.
Binance has like 5 or 6 there.
I don't think they have. I don't think no. Binance has a couple, but I think they're pretty much the only one that has them. Not sure actually. I don't think they have a couple.
You have also copy trading. I saw him.
Yeah, they do. They have copy trading. Let me actually see, because right now
right down.
Copy trading. And what this is basically you have a master trader. So someone says he's good at trading and he's able to post trades. and you're able to follow this trade. So you don't have to trade yourself. You basically say, I have this amount of money. You follow him, and then whenever a trade is happening, you can say, yep, I want to join this trade, and then you're automatically trading with him.
This I always find very important, how you can search. Can I see who did the best the last 3 months?
Yeah, let's say.
Can I select a certain period of time?
Yeah. Let's say you want 90 days, so 30 months. You click that, and then you filter on the best one. And this guy had in the 90 days 711% ROI.
Pretty impressive. And can I then see the list of trades he made? Can I go inside?
Yep. If you click him, then you get all the stats. And as you can see, his 7-day ROI is still pretty good. It's 60%, to total 705. And you can see, let's say 90 days.
Can you see how much leverage he uses?
Yeah, I think you can see it in his, let me see where he's, over here, short 10x, as you can see. These were his trades.
Yeah. And a lot of shorts in the last period.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how, if you follow him, how much do you pay him for how much does he get paid?
This one it says profit sharing ratio of 10%. So of all the profit that you make, 10% is going to this trader. So that doesn't mean that whenever you're losing money, you're not paying anything. But if you're making money, he's getting 10% of the profit. Okay.
And is there anything more known about this guy, who he is, where he is, and that kind of stuff? Or is it just more you see his trades and that needs to say enough?
Yeah, that's basically it. You can see his stats. Like I said, you can see his total profit over the 90 days, his trading history, what he's done. You can see which users are following him. But apart from that, that's it. You can't see, for example, who he is or where he lives or something like that. You can't see that.
And then this could also be a bot, right?
Yeah. Let's say you have a bot and you're a good trader, then you're able to make you apply yourself as a master trader. You have a bot that just executes trades and people follow it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, this was enough. This is what do I want to do. Last question, Sjuul. Any interesting projects you're following now? What are you doing to look at new projects, and how do you follow them? How do you evaluate them? Maybe you can tell us a little bit, because your Twitter page is full of it.
Yeah. Right now, like I said, it's hard because not that many projects are launching. But I do have a nice way that I once had an AMA with Binance where I showed how I found new coins. Basically, what I do is you go to bscscan.com. Let me zoom in a bit. bscscan.com. That's the explorer of all the BSC tokens.
Yeah.
And what I used to do, now I haven't done it too much because, like I said, not many projects are launching. But if you go to tokens and then view BEP20 transfers, then you're able to see all the transactions that are sort of happening on the Binance Smart Chain. So these all happened 12 seconds ago. And if you refresh the page, it takes a couple seconds to sort of refresh, but then all transactions are shown here. Now, one thing you see, all these tokens, they have a logo. So this one has this logo, Binance in BUSD is this logo, but some coins, let me actually find one. This one, for example, doesn't have a logo. Like it's like a non-picture logo.
Yeah.
And what I used to do is simply refresh this page. Then whenever I found something like this is a US dollar pegged one, but for example, this doesn't have a logo. So I then simply opened this token and the contract, and I'd see how many holders and how many transfers there were. Because what this means, if a token doesn't have an icon, that means it's a new token because they don't have an icon uploaded yet. So this is how I used to find like projects that went really high, really early. And this one shows 11K holders and 44K transactions. So that's a really high token already. So there's no point. So I just close it. Hold on, let's see this one. 6K and 27K, too high as well. And this is what I used to do. Like this one has 300 addresses and 16,000 transfers.
Yeah.
So this is a sort of early token. And I'm not saying this token is going to be the next token. Don't get me wrong.
No, but I mean, this is how you build a short list, and then you basically go research it.
Exactly. Then I take this contract, I look at the chart, I look at the liquidity. Then but this is how I sort of filter out the 99% that are already too big or too huge. Then you're left with 1%. Then you filter those out, and then you're left with a couple tokens. And that's basically how I found all my tokens that I bought early and made a lot of money with. Which is really easy to do. Like everyone can do this. That's sort of how I found the new tokens.
And that's what you would share on Twitter, and then a lot of people would follow you.
Exactly.
So how do I know that you are not, just one of these famous pump and dump people, that you don't get paid for pumping and dumping the stock? I mean, you've seen those. You've been in all these groups, and everybody who's a little bit of influence they try to get you into it. And with 250,000 followers, it must be really hard to stay honest.
Yeah, well, what I always thought, and what I still think is, if you're going to do that, then people are going to find out eventually. And you can do it with 5 tokens. You're probably making good money with those 5 tokens, but at the 6th token, people are going to say, "I'm not going to follow you anymore. I'm not going to join you anymore," because it's clear as day that it's a pump and dump. So that's what I always thought. And if you look at it right now, when I started my Twitter page, let's say there were I'm not too sure, but let's say 15 people that used to sort of tweet with me regularly. And if you check how many are left, I think right now it's 1 or me, I'm left, and maybe 2 other channels that are still sort of in the same niche as I am. And the rest have all gone, have all disappeared.
Well, the thing is, you are also, because Twitter, is there and it stays there. It's not like a Telegram group which completely disappears off the face of the earth, or where you cannot scroll back anymore. So there is some kind of accountability in there.
And I think you're able to spot the difference if you look at certain pages that are usually the pump and dump pages. All they do is pump and dump. So if you open their profile, all they do is post tokens that are gone up, have gone down, and that's it. I think if you're sort of adding some value to it, so like I said, my newsletter, I have my Telegram group, I create my website where I post all kind of threads and project reviews. If you look at that, then you're sort of filtering out the pump and numbers as well. Because if someone's investing their time in writing a good article or a good piece of content, then they're probably not gonna pump and dump, because what's the point? That's what I did.
All right, it's been fascinating. Thank you very much for the demo of. It was very good to see it and get to know you a little bit online, and what you are sharing. I think it's really interesting that people share the tools they have to basically find it, to do research. That's what we're doing too at Diamond Picks all the time, finding out what are the good coins. We are mostly in the top 100. But that's already quite a lot of work to find out what's real and what's not real. So I really enjoyed it. So let's do this again. Let's do this again, Sjuul. Thank you for your time. Thank you for showing your face. And see you next time.
Yeah, thanks as well. And see you next time.